Get help right away for swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Infections that can cause shingles have occurred. Don't stop other medicines, including steroids, unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May cause back pain, diarrhea, and cough. Ask about Nucala.
I don't have it all figured out yet, but I'll follow you every step to find the hole in your alibi. What now? We get him.
Alyssa's very skinny behind is on our podcast today. Have a great day, everybody. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And you're not in it alone. We're in it together, and we'll get through it.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
Hello, everyone. Coming up on ABC 7 News at Noon, authorities say working smoke detectors helped save a man when his home caught fire in Bangor over the weekend. We'll have the story for you coming up. We'll also hear about the stalled talks to end the war with Iran. And Maine's soft-shell clam numbers have dropped significantly in recent years. We'll hear what's being done to solve that problem. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Craig Colson, sitting in this afternoon for Susan Farley. We thank you for joining us. We'll have all the day's news coming up over the next half hour, but first a check of that weather. And if you look outside, well, it kind of depends on where you are. Here in Bangor, we just had a pretty steady rain, sleet, and snowstorm roll through the area. It's not supposed to last very long. In fact, by late this afternoon, it's just expected to be a little bit cloudy out there. Just have to deal with some of these last doses of winter weather before we get there, though. For more on what we can expect, let's turn things over to Devin Biggs.
Hey Craig, happy Monday afternoon. We've had a little bit of energy off to the north and west, falling as a little bit of snow. It'll transition to a little bit of rain during the afternoon period as temperatures rise with a slight chance for a little bit of rainfall. It's another front to the north and west that's going to be passing through after one has already passed through recently. So futurecast showing that switching over to a little bit of rainfall. It's a slight chance overall. Once we get that through, notice we really clear out later on tonight. And look at Tuesday, lots of sunshine to start, and we'll have some more clouds developing later on. Now we're also going to have some gusty winds, and those are going to reach up to about 20 miles per hour throughout the daytime period today. Notice later on tonight the winds will be backing off, and even through Tuesday the winds won't be too bad. Once we head towards Tuesday night, really we'll have some gusts along the coast, and that's about it. So for today, upper 40s. You may notice a few flakes to the north and west, but overall mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain in that northwest wind at around 20 miles per hour. Overnight, lower 20s, partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. All right, your hourly forecast, we have clouds, a slight chance for rain today with temperatures in the 40s and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig?
All right, sounds good. We'll see you a little later on. Thank you, Devin. Well, first this afternoon, fire officials say it was working smoke detectors that saved a Bangor man after a fire broke out at his home Sunday morning. According to the Bangor Fire Department, crews were called to that home on South Park Street around 10 a.m. and were on the scene within just 2 minutes. Upon arrival, firefighters found heavy smoke conditions coming from the building and upgraded it to an all-hands call. Assistant Fire Chief Chandler Corvo says firefighters entered the building and discovered fire in the kitchen area. Corvo says the sole occupant made it out of the house before crews got to the scene, and he noted that working smoke detectors played a vital role.
No injuries to the occupant or any firefighters. He did have working smoke detectors, and that's what did alert him that there was a fire in his home, so he was taking a nap at the time, so he was able to get out safely because of that.
The resident is now being assisted by the Red Cross. Corvo says the fire was under control in about 20 minutes. He says while there was moderate damage, the structure is not a total loss, and the fire did not impact any neighboring homes. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Meanwhile, a crash on I-95 over the weekend in Sydney killed one person and left another in the hospital with minor injuries. It happened around 5:30 Saturday near northbound mile marker 120. According to the state police, 2 motorcycles, one operated by 61-year-old Adam Robinson of Sangerville and the other by 28-year-old Jason Lancaster of Carmel, were traveling together when they passed another vehicle. When merging back into the right lane, state police say Robinson's motorcycle appeared to have a mechanical defect. His brakes seized up and he was ejected from the motorcycle. State police say he was pronounced dead at the scene. And Lancaster, who state police say was operating in close proximity to Robinson, was also ejected from his bike when he was unable to avoid the crash. He was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries. State police are now asking anyone with information about the crash, if they witnessed it, to contact Trooper Keenan Blyer. The number there is 973-3700. A Bar Harbor and Mount Desert Island police officer was involved in a head-on collision on Route 3 Saturday night while attempting to assist with a high-speed vehicle stop. According to police, the crash happened shortly after 9 p.m. Authorities say an individual driving a black Subaru Impreza was traveling at a high rate of speed on State Route 3 in the area of Hamilton's Pond when they failed to stop for police. Officer Nathan Formby of the Bar Harbor and Mount Desert Police Department was in the Hulls Cove area of Route 3 and was attempting to help identify and stop that driver. Well, as the officer arrived in the area of Eden Street and Crooked Road with his emergency lights on, police say the Subaru entered the oncoming lane and then struck Officer Formby's cruiser. Authorities say the officer was not injured as a result of the crash, and the operator of the Subaru was taken by ambulance to MDI Hospital. Police have not identified the driver at this point, and the investigation is ongoing. It has also been taken over by the Maine State Police. Maine's Attorney General has ruled police were justified when they shot a man in Wilton. That incident happened back on July 11th when a deputy went to a home to serve eviction papers to 35-year-old Gabriel Wilbur. Officials say Wilbur had threatened to kill workers who were hired to clean the property and also threatened to die by suicide by cop. A standoff ensued, and a deputy and a state trooper shot Wilbur when he pointed what turned out to be a BB gun at the officers. Wilbur survived even though he was shot several times and is currently serving 8 months in jail on charges of creating a police standoff and reckless conduct. The Attorney General ruled the officers were justified when they used deadly force against Wilbur. In other news this noon, the Department of Agriculture is cracking down on Mainers who secured mortgages through one of their programs, but then failed to pay. The agency filed around 15 foreclosure cases in Maine District Court last week. The foreclosure cases are aimed at Maine homeowners who obtained a mortgage through a low-income USDA program called the Section 502 Direct Loan Program, which offers people home loans that have low down payments and long repayment terms. We obtained a copy of one of those cases that the USDA filed against a homeowner in southern Maine. It shows that the homeowner stopped making monthly mortgage payments in the spring of 2012. This in turn was a breach of conditions, and now that homeowner could owe the federal government over $400,000. Similar filings were made last year. Well, researchers say soft-shell clam landings are dropping significantly in Maine, and as Allison LaPierre reports, the Down East Institute is now hoping to get to the bottom of that problem.
Brian Beal and Tessa Houston are both Maine marine ecology researchers with the Down East Institute. The Marine Research Lab and Education Center is trying to figure out why soft clam landings are declining.
And what we're trying to do is to find out whether the problem exists due to overharvesting, whether the problem exists due to climate change.
The Down East Institute is installing shellfish recruitment boxes on flats across the coast of Maine to get a better understanding of the rapid decline.
So we're looking at the most vulnerable stages of the soft-shell clam's early history, and that is just when they have come from swimming, which they do for 3 weeks as larvae in the water. That's the stage where they're most vulnerable to predation by crabs and other small predators.
The clams are already quite small, and invasive species like this ribbon worm and green crab are destroying soft-shell clam populations. Since the 1970s, soft-shell clam landings have declined 85% statewide, but the state still produces 60% of the country's soft-shell clams.
It's a really important project because it kind of shows the crisis that the clam industry is experiencing.
The boxes will stay in the flats until the fall. Once retrieved, researchers will examine patterns like how fast the clams grow, the impact from its predators, and the environmental trends.
This whole thing is to highlight really the problems in the soft-shell clam fishery.
And that was Allison LaPierre reporting. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, the latest on the effort to end the war with Iran, and Dixmont firefighters show why they badly need a new fire station. More news right after this.
You come to a credit union to work because you actually like helping people.
You get to be a part of really life-changing moments.
It builds a really rewarding professional career.
And that's why I like credit unions.
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call the twos?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I don't take tiny checks. I get my clients big checks. I got a client who injured their wrist, a big check for $185,000. Another client broke their collarbone, and I also got them a big check for $400,000.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the twos.
Hurt in a car accident? I'm your go-to guy.
What is third-hand smoke? Unlike second-hand smoke you can see, third-hand smoke is invisible toxic residue left behind by smoking and vaping. It sticks to surfaces in your home and car, kids' toys, floors and carpets, furniture, clothing, pet toys, even car seats. It stays long after smoking and vaping stops, and these toxic chemicals can put the health of children, pets, and others at risk. Protect your loved ones from third-hand smoke. Visit mainquitlink.com to learn the risks.
Diabetes isn't a death sentence, but it is absolutely a life sentence, and you have to figure out how you're going to keep your kid alive. So when you find somebody from the government that's on your side, and it happens to be Susan Collins at the same time, that was just magnificent. After the meeting in Portland for my wife and son, my wife came back. She was 10 feet tall. She'd felt seen, she felt heard, and she felt like we had a powerful advocate on our side. No, it was a big step towards healing.
Thank you, Senator Collins.
Please continue delivering for T1 families.
I went through a bad divorce. My ex handled all the finances and ruined my credit. A coworker said, try your local credit union. It changed my life. The credit union cared about my story, not just what was on paper. They gave me the confidence I needed.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. The fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is now less than 2 days away from expiring. Trump administration officials appear to be gearing up for another round of negotiations, but right now Iran has not indicated it's agreed to those talks. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from Washington.
Today, as the war on Iran enters its 8th week, President Trump appears willing to escalate the tension if Iran doesn't agree to a deal, writing on social media this weekend, quote, "The United States is going to knock out every single power plant, every single bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy." The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire on Wednesday. A White House official tells ABC News Vice President Vance will travel back to Pakistan for another round of talks, though no plans have been set as Iran has not yet agreed to the talks themselves. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson says today transferring the country's enriched uranium stockpiles to the U.S. or anywhere else is not on their agenda. Experts have warned the Trump administration attacking Iran's infrastructure could violate international law. Still, UN Ambassador Mike Waltz is defending the president's threats.
Go all the way back to World War II. Of course, we bombed and took down bridges, other infrastructure, power plants that, yes, could be used for civilian, but also are used to manufacture drones and missiles.
This weekend, the UK Maritime Trade Operations Center reported Iran fired on 2 Indian-registered ships in the Strait of Hormuz. A day later,
Motor Vessel Tosca, vacate your engine room.
This video shows the U.S. Navy warning an Iranian cargo ship trying to move past the American blockade before Marines boarded the ship and seized control. Iran calls it American aggression and promises to respond. Both the U.S. and Iran are now trying to assert more control over the strait.
Gas is up from $2.30 to $4.
You have now Iran having a more hardline regime, as we just heard, and all our allies like UAE being hit.
Stocks fell off in the opening bell today, and oil prices jumped, reacting to the Strait of Hormuz being closed again. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
In other news, police in Shreveport, Louisiana are combing over a sprawling crime scene after they say a gunman shot and killed 8 children, including 7 of his own on Sunday, also leaving 2 people fighting for their lives. Our Armando Garcia reports on one of the deadliest mass shootings in the past 2 years.
A city rattled by the country's latest mass shooting.
Father God, I ask you to bring families together right now.
Shreveport police say 31-year-old Shamar Elkins shot and killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in a domestic violence incident that spanned across 2 neighboring residences and a 3rd nearby home.
The suspect shot the mother of the children first, then responded to this location and shot 8 children, 7 of which being his own.
Police calling the crime scenes gruesome. The victims, 3 boys and 5 girls, all between the ages of 3 and 11 years old. The mother and another woman who were also shot, now fighting for their lives. Investigators say another child was injured jumping off the roof trying to get away. Authorities say officers fatally shot Elkins after he led them on a police chase.
It's a very hectic scene. There's a lot to investigate, a lot to unpack, and we want to do the best we can to come up with a clear timeline, a clear reasoning, even though cases like this, the reasoning will never be fully understood.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who represents the district where the shooting happened, offering his prayers in a post on social media, and the community now rallying around the family and lighting candles for the 8 lives lost.
To learn later that I knew one of the children, it really took a toll on me, and I really hate that for the mama period and those children.
An Army official telling ABC News that Shamar Elkins had served in the Louisiana Army National Guard for 7 years, left the Army as a private in 2020, and had not been deployed. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Well, meanwhile, Pope Leo visits a nursing home on the final day of his trip to Angola. Crowds cheered and waved as the pontiff's motorcade headed to the nursing home in the eastern city of Sanremo. Leo was greeted with a traditional welcome dance before delivering prayers and blessings to staff and residents. He also listened to residents and personally met with some of them, saying in part that older people must not only be cared for, but also listened to, adding they deserve the wisdom of people, or they preserve the wisdom of people. The Pope arrived in the Portuguese Kingdom nation on Saturday for the 3rd leg of his 4-nation tour of the continent. He's expected to leave for Equatorial Guinea tomorrow. Well, after securing funding, Senator Susan Collins toured a local fire station here in Maine, seeing firsthand the need for a new facility. Alexa Kennedy has more.
Dixmont Fire Department volunteers highlighted long-standing issues with their building today, taking Senator Susan Collins on a tour that revealed exactly why that $2.3 million federal grant for a new station is so sorely needed. Dixmont Deputy Chief Derwood Hopkins says he hopes a new station will shorten response time, attract more volunteers, and improve the mutual aid experience for neighboring departments.
A little town like this, there ain't much here, so we gotta do what we can do with what we got with.
Hopkins says the department struggled with limited resources, including cramped working space, aging equipment, and a lack of running water.
We have actually had a number of people say that, if you get a new station, we'll come volunteer.
Bemis called the grant a major milestone after a previous failed attempt.
It holds a community together. Your fire station, your fire department and whatnot, that's kind of your central.
She says it's important that Senator Collins saw it for herself.
When you come here in person, as opposed to relying on descriptions and photographs, and talk with all of the volunteer firefighters and EMS personnel, it really hits home how much this is needed.
The new Dixmont Fire Station will be located only 2 miles from the existing one, and the land has already been cleared by volunteers. Construction is expected to begin once funds are released. That timeline isn't definite yet, but is generally expected in the next year. In Dixmont, Alexa Kennedy, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And when we come back, we'll have your full weather forecast, and we'll see what Mr. Food is cooking up today. Something to do with roasted garlic chicken. Sounds good right now. We'll be right back after this.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stair Lifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stair Lift, the world's leader in stair lifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stair Lifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stair Lift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stair Lift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stair Lift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
With over 30 years of experience, Patriot General Contractors knows how to get your home renovation project done right. Our certified contractors can help you build, redesign, or finish the project of your dreams. Check out Facebook page for reviews and visit patriotgeneralcontractors.com to schedule your quote today. Patriot General Contractors, redesigning your properties for the future.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years. 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
This is how it works. You filed a lawsuit, you came into court, you have the burden of proof. We're going to ask you for proof.
Exactly.
So you have to provide it.
Hot Bench. Monday at 3 on ABC 7.
It's tax day, and for many of us, that means we're scrambling to get our taxes done by midnight. But whether you've waited to the last minute or not, I've got a stress-free recipe that you're going to love. It's made in a slow cooker, which makes it anything but taxing. All we do is brown a cut-up chicken. We'll cook them in batches so we don't crowd them. Now, into a slow cooker they go, and we'll brush them with some olive oil that we season with some finely chopped rosemary and some salt and pepper. Then, to give them lots of flavor, we toss in a whole bulb of garlic that we separated into cloves. Now we cover it and let it cook low and slow while we do our thing. And we'll know it's almost done when the whole house is filled with the rich aroma of the roasted garlic mixed with the fresh rosemary. And when you serve this, topped with the pan drippings, get ready for the ultimate flavor-packed meal. The recipe for our roasted garlic chicken, which comes from our Cook It Slow, Cook It Fast cookbook, is online now. It's the perfect dish when you're looking to make something that's anything but taxing. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a garlicky way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Looks delicious. Somebody needs to tell Howard, too, that he's a little late on tax day. He's about 5 days late. If he hasn't sent his taxes in, well, he might have to pay some penalties. All right, moving on now. Fighting homelessness with meatballs. You heard it right. Volunteers in North Hills, California came together to make 250,000 meatballs, the goal to help fight homelessness. The event, called Meatball Madness, was part of the Valley Day of Service organized by Assemblyman Jesse Gabriel.
Our chefs take these meatballs and make meatball lo mein, meatball fried rice, meatball subs that'll change your life. And when you're living in a shelter, a hot meal can mean the world.
Organizers say the meatballs will feed 3,000 residents at Hope the Mission in Los Angeles Mission, or where they could be frozen for future use, addressing food insecurity in Los Angeles County. What a great idea. And when we come back, Devin Biggs will have your full 5 days forecast. Don't go away.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call the twos?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I don't take tiny checks. I get my clients big checks. We got a client who fractured their pelvis, a big check for $300,000. And another client broke multiple bones, and we got them a big check for $700,000.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the twos.
I'm your go-to guy.
Are your basement walls bowing, crumbling, or failing? Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basementy. Our Stable Lock wall system offers a patented, affordable, and permanent solution to save your foundation walls. It stabilizes, fills voids, and structurally repairs, leaving a new smooth surface. All the strength of new walls. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
The marathon of life can be challenging. Chores and responsibilities keep us from the things we once loved and the aspirations we set. But it's never too late to find your second wind. With an affordable, fully online program and advisors to help you along the way, you can cross the finish line when it works for you. Finish strong at the University of Maine.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Well, there's still some rain and snow showers floating around the Bangor area right now. You can hear the sleet up on the roof. It won't last for long, though. In fact, it looks like some more sunshine will be heading this way. Let's check in with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Wave height's not bad at around 2 feet according to the buoys. You have to look farther out towards sea for any kind of active surf at around 4 to even 7 feet at this moment in time. So far, no advisories in effect along the coast. On land, we've had a little bit of snow developing further off towards the north and west. As it tracks off to the south and east, temperatures will be rising and we'll have a slight chance for a little bit of rain showers that will be developing. This is another cold front, or at least another front that is developing, tracking off towards the south and east. After one has already passed through, this will be tracking off towards the east. So futurecasts moving forward, we're seeing that tracking off towards the east today. Later on tonight, everything clears out of here. We'll be overall under a mostly clear to partly cloudy sky. As we head towards tomorrow, lots of sunshine to start things off. We'll be partly cloudy throughout the rest of the afternoon. Then we'll still have some clouds lingering Tuesday night, with more clouds on the way as we head towards your Wednesday. We could definitely use more precipitation, though the drought continues to linger, and a moderate to severe drought. Unfortunately, not much of a break in the drought anytime soon for us in a good part of the country as well. There's some areas catching a break, which is some good news. These areas not seeing any drought, but if you go toward Florida, to the western parts of the U.S. and anywhere else, there's definitely a lot of places still seeing drought, and overall not much of a break to be seen there anytime soon. We'll see some gusty winds today up to around 20 miles per hour, and those gusty winds starting to back off tonight. And even for tomorrow, not much of any gusty winds, and even along the coast, maybe some gusty winds, and that's all we're really going to see. Average highs 56 degrees. We'll be in the middle to upper 40s for a little bit before warming up later into the forecast period. So for today, here's what we got. Upper 40s, mostly cloudy, slight chance for rain, northwest wind at about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, we have low 20s, partly cloudy, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then for tomorrow, we have upper 40s, partly cloudy, with a light and variable wind. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Rain chances coming up for your Wednesday with highs in the mid-40s. Then we have low 50s coming up for your Thursday with a chance for rain. And then partly cloudy for your Friday, highs in the low 50s.
The way we're heading, we are going to have a lot of Mayflowers. Thank you very much, Devin. Well, Maine's largest vintage pop-up market made its return to the Bangor area over the weekend, showcasing over 100 New England vendors. Hundreds of people were lining up outside the Cross Insurance Center for the Lost and Found Market on Saturday. The traveling market features a wide selection of curated vintage clothing, decor, records, and other unique finds. Organizers and vendors say the focus is on sustainability, community, and self-expression.
Truly is like a monumental event in Maine. It's been so grassroots, and just kind of see the market grow like this has been phenomenal.
I just love the whole aspect of the antiquing, the whole repurpose, reusing. I think there's too much waste out there, so it's a really great event to like show all the great stuff out there that we can, keep using.
The market was in Bangor for only one day. To learn more about when the next pop-up event will be, you can visit lostandfoundmaine.com or simply find them on social media. They'll probably be back sometime this summer. All right, that'll do it for now, folks. We thank you so much for joining us. Beth Jones will be here tonight with all the latest news on ABC 7 News at 6. We hope you'll tune into that. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger, fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following program is paid for by Integrated Wellness Solutions, a proud supporter of the American Heart Association. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, I'm Brandy Williams. Welcome viewers from across the country to Heart Health TV. So how's your heart? Healthy? Not sure? Well, sadly, I can safely say that probably half of you watching right now already have cardiovascular disease, and most of you don't even know it. And even more of you watching have high blood